think it should have been about 9-1. I'll give him 84 because he beat him in a few positions, but I think it could have been ugly. But I tell you what I'm proud of is those first 3 matches that we lost were all pretty gut-wrenching. Like, hey man, it looked like you almost have it. 57, we're almost going to pin the guy, and then we ended up getting beat. 74, I mean, you got the momentum, everything on your side, and for Hochschlag to come out and step up like that, and then JJ and Schwarm and Elber, and then we talk about being a team. We talk about 10 guys going out there and competing for each other, competing a certain way, and kind of inspiring the next guy. And I think guys were able to do that. I know we learned some valuable lessons in some of those losses. Sometimes I'd rather not have to be a loss to learn those lessons, but great response by our team. They said just if you looked at it and you're watching the match, and I tell you what, Iowa State had to feel pretty good after those first 5 matches. I got Harrington coming back against a guy that's an 84-pounder that's moving up. I got a heavyweight that's at least in the rankings. We got a guy that's not. 25. We got not a backup guy, because no guys are backup, man. When they're their guy, they're their guy. And then you got an All-American against a guy that's you beat him 3 times. So I think if I'm them, I'm probably feeling pretty good. But great job by our guys and how they responded. Getting a win here in Hilton's good. It feels good, but I'm gonna preach that we're just gonna continue to build momentum and really discipline. I know I'm getting coachy a little bit, but just discipline in a few positions. And I know sometimes that happens when you have some young guys. There's nuances to me. We talk about stance all the time. You come out of your stance. To me, if he attacks him, he wins that match. You let a guy in your leg, and those things happen. But overall, happy with how we responded, and look forward to, for me, we got a short turnaround. We got Sunday, so get our guys ready for that.
What's this mean for, I guess, the program overall?
I just think I don't care if Iowa State's 1 in 100. It's an in-state rival. They have beat us. I don't care what they say. I know they don't. I don't feel like they look at us as equal. If you look at our budgets, it's certainly not. There's a huge discrepancy, but our guys don't feel that way, and they certainly don't compete that way. But I think it's a good thing for building momentum. We had some seniors on the team that they remember, and I was talking to Cooper Moore. I was talking to him and said, "You remember when you came as a redshirt freshman, and the Beauty and the Beast was going on, and our guys' eyes were big as saucers, and we did not respond very well, and so you kind of remember those things, and your guys remember those things. But I tell you what, I thought we responded really well. You got some guys who are kind of unsung heroes, I think. Harrington, that's a big time recruit coming out. And I'm not taking anything away from Hochschlag, but that's a good win for him. It's a good way to find a way, and man, there's got to be times where we put the nail in the coffin, though. Man, we got a guy in the back at 57. Let's pin that guy, and then the scoreboard. It's really all lopsided. So,
what was the reaction in the room when you reminded them, hey, it's been so long? Or for some of those kids, they probably learned. They're reminders. It's not like, you're in the middle. You're getting ready for a practice, so I don't need guys. I don't need guys to be ready to wrestle on a Tuesday or Wednesday, but you certainly keep things in their mind, and I don't really have to remind them much in this type of environment, this type of event. You're in the state of Iowa, and all these, we got a lot of Iowa kids. Even the guys that we don't have, they've been around it a little bit, and they understand that when you're going against an in-state school, it's a big deal. It's a rivalry, and there's dislike there. Especially when you're competing against each other. It's purple against red, and we'd love to have it against black too. For us, we're only getting one opportunity a year to wrestle at state school, so we probably even a little bit more emphasis on that. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm proud of our guys, how we responded, and they certainly, the way some of those losses went, we could have tucked our head a little bit. But guys gritted up really well and found ways to win matches and come away with a W on the scoreboard, and builds momentum for our future. I tell you what, I like how Max competed, man. He came out strong. Was really looking to pin a guy, and we got bonus points in 2 of those spots. So I don't know, good job our guys, and I guess my mind turns probably to Eastern Michigan right now. So. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
That Eastern Michigan duel?
Yeah.
They're a little bit tougher than maybe in years past. What's 2 or 3 keys there?
he does a good job. Boyer does a good job with their program. I think their guys come out and they wrestle hard. You can tell they have they have a connection, man. They get their guys to scrap. They always have. We went there last year and they beat us. So, like I said, I don't think it's going to be hard. Sometimes is there going to be a letdown after this? And I think if you're a pro, like we're telling our guys to be, and like we're training them to be, then there really isn't a letdown, because every opportunity, you can look at, they're all the same really, because they count on the record. It's either one win on my side and I build some momentum and build our reputation, or it kind of goes the other way. So I just want to keep putting those strings together, because man, when you have guys that win, and we're starting to get some guys that are winning 4, 5, 6, and you start winning 10, 12, 15 matches in a row, you start expecting to win. Not that you think it's going to be hand to, but Albert the last 2 weekends he slayed a couple of big dragons. Guys that beat him. Keener beat him twice, and that guy beat him 3 times last year, and really came out and was really handling things too. So great to see that kind of response from him. Obviously, we don't have to go to OT, but man, he still found a way to get it done. So proud of that response. But I don't think we're going to have. We should have no issue getting back up. That's just, to me, that's what you do when you go compete. And I don't know what our lineup's going to be like. There may be a few different guys, but I think the one thing that's been great about our team is we've had multiple guys step up. Mm-hmm. So I think that's when you're a deep program, or trying to be a deep program, or trying to be a program that isn't like, we'll get geared up once every 4 or 5 years and have a good team. You got to have that, and I think we have a lot of guys that are stepping up right now. That maybe if on paper and you're looking at the lineup at the start of the year, you probably wouldn't put some of those guys in there. So I'm proud of that they're not thinking that way, they're not thinking that way at all, and their guys just continue to get better. So I feel like we got some good momentum on our side, and any fans, we hope to get some fans out there. I know it's a Sunday, and but we certainly like to have the West Gym packed as always.
Albert said the biggest thing with his win tonight was confidence. Have you seen him develop a little bit more in the room, or?
Can I have one of those?
Thanks. Can I have one too?
I think confidence isn't a constant thing. Just as a competitor, sometimes it's like this, but he's been extremely steady all spring, all summer, all fall. And I think the thing that he's realized from last year is that I have to take a lot of things upon myself. I can't wait for coach to help me do this. I have to take ownership of trying to be great at something. And I think we have a lot of guys that are doing that right now. They're taking it upon themselves. Not that we're not putting structure together and helping guys, but man, for guys truly to make that jump and to be great at something, it cannot come from me. It can't come from his mom or dad or anybody else. It's got to come from him. And I think he's really realized that. And you're seeing him wrestle at a different level, a different confidence level. One thing I've always noticed about him is, especially when I watched him in high school, just nothing ever he's unflappable in a lot of ways, and you've seen it a little bit, but I think he's really getting that back. When you win, like I said, when you win that many matches in a row, you not invincible, but man, you're expecting to go out to win, and I think that he's starting to be able to do that against some of the best guys in the country. That guy's a couple-time All-American. I know it ended up overtime, but if you watch that first period and you're like, holy cow, this guy came out ready. He's controlling things pretty well. So I think that guys are starting to understand what it's going to take, and that it can't come from a coach to be able to be great. I believe in our program and our structure and what we're putting in place for guys, but man, when they step out there, it's never going to be me. So I think that he's realized that, and you're just going to see his level continue to raise. So
thanks, Coach.
Yeah.